this way. What up, everybody? Welcome into the B Team on Jackrabbit Illustrated. As always, I am Brendan with Ben and Chad for the night, completing the BBC. We are here courtesy of our title sponsors, Kubota Dealers of South Dakota, with 9 locations across the great state of South Dakota. There is always a location near you to get into some orange equipment today. They have reliable, efficient equipment for you on your home, your acreage, your farmstead, or anything in between. They've got all the equipment you may need, from tractors to side-by-sides to skid steers and anything else, with all the attachments and implements you may need. Get yourself into some orange equipment today. And they also have parts and service to keep it running nice. And should anything break, they've gotten you taken care of. So, what is this?
What?
Mid-read, he does it.
I didn't even know.
Anyways,
what he was doing.
he did a cartoony snoring thing. As always, our our show sponsor for the B Team is Culver's of Brookings, Watertown, with 2 great locations. Get yourself into a better brand of beef that makes a butter burger better. They don't have the pub burger anymore, as delicious as that was. That was also seasonal, so that's gone. But you can always get yourself into the classics, the fish sandwich, and everything else. They've got a huge variety on the menu. Obviously, the classic go-to is the double Culver's Butter Burger Deluxe with cheese, and then get the fries with some cheese sauce to dip it in. Get yourself some frozen custard afterwards, because you need to treat yourself. So Culver's, Brookings, Watertown, go in there. As always, my recommended betting currency with friends is Scoopy tokens, to make it as painful as possible for them to pay you back, and then you can just keep them and never use them. You just keep them forever, and just to say you got them. And so
you have them hanging on your wall somewhere.
I'm gonna make a frame, I think, and put them behind me in my little den here.
I like it. Yeah, quite the game on Saturday. I don't know if we want to just dive right into it.
Well, how about we got the soundboard going, and I love it.
Yeah.
Quick on the tailgate, we got some sick jackets from the Podfather.
We did.
They're
have
awesome.
mine with me. Maybe I'll have my son go grab it.
I can run up and grab it.
My wife was just outside walking the dog with mine, so
yeah. But
she already owns mine.
All about it. Ariel's all about it. We probably should get together and do something for our wives and significant others that put up with our nonsense.
Probably
that might be a smart play.
We'll get in some Jackrabbit Illustrated gear. They love it.
Yeah. Well, Ariel's getting that jacket. She wants it bad. So
I know, but
mine's already.
They don't want that as a gift from us. But
yeah.
Anyway, we digress. Yeah, the tailgate was fun. A little chillier than I thought it was going to be, but not too bad. We watched the situation unfold on the highway. Thankfully, we were all safe from that. That was a weird situation, but thankfully, nobody was. The public wasn't ever really in danger there, but it was a little scary when everybody got the text, or the students anyway got the text. But they had to do it for safety's sake. But yeah, after that, got into the game. I was hoping for 12, and we got just under 12,000 for attendance. Which was not great, but not bad. I mean, it's not. Hey, Ree.
Is it your anniversary?
Since we started dating.
Hey,
so, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes, congrats.
Mostly to Ree, but you too, I guess.
Congrats to her for sticking with me for this long. But no, I was obviously it wasn't as bad as a playoff game, but it was not as good as we would hope for a regular season game, and it was tough to get into it because that first quarter was the worst first quarter I've ever witnessed. I mean,
and from an SDSU team for sure.
Oh yeah, and
yeah,
just a really weird situations that like you usually only see one of those things happen per game, and they just kept happening. And even obviously, the pick six, which I don't necessarily. I mean, obviously Henry maybe could have seen him, but it was a very predictable swing pass, and maybe that's where I'll start. A little bit of a rant, I guess, is our third down calls are just atrocious. And between the swing pass and how many times did we have third and long and we called a QB draw? And I get that, the analytics are, oh, well, if it's 3rd and 7, let's get 5 yards and then we can go for it on 4th and 2. I don't know. I hate it. I do not like the third down QB draw. Maybe if you mix it in once a game just to throw people off and say, so they don't see it coming. But man, it feels like defenses just know what we're doing a lot of the time. And really the only success we had was spreading the ball out and just throwing it downfield. So that's my quick rant here is just our third down calls are not good right now. And just the overall predictability of the offense prior to us opening it up after being down 35-0. I hate it at this point.
Yeah. It's one thing to try to catch them napping once in a while, but to do it as often as we run it, it's not a thing anymore to catch them napping, and yeah, it's not good. It's starting to be too predictable. It's quarterback draw, it's wide receiver screen and everything. And we've defended the play calling for a long time, all season on this podcast. And boy, especially like that first drive, you're like, man, like who saw those plays coming? I'm so surprised, and so was Illinois State.
You were very surprised in the stands too.
Yeah, I was shocked. And it's a bummer. And I think the holistic thing, it would have been easy for the team to have let that continue snowballing and not fought back. I will say that that was very admirable effort to not let that stuff keep continuing and getting their heads down and letting that they fought to come back, and you can argue they really, really had a chance to do it. And like even our good friends on the Blue Bloods, Timothy Rosario on there, he commented like Illinois State got out of their rhythm on offense and could not find it back. And you score that, you catch the one in the end zone for a touchdown, or you score one more to get it within a score. I do think they might actually come back and win that game, which is crazy to think, when you're on your third string quarterback and injuries and everything else. And I think that's the frustrating part about this stretch is the team that won 7 games is still in there. Like they just haven't had it come together. Obviously, even with injuries right now, this team the current construction playing at its best probably doesn't beat the team week 2, but they're capable of pulling any one of these games out. Maybe not the NDSU one, but Indiana State for sure. USD, there was a couple plays go a different way. You catch an interception, whatever. That's a winnable game. And then this last one, you don't have 3 catastrophic mistakes immediately in the game, and who knows how it goes. But just continually doing things that shoot ourselves in the foot, dropping passes that would have won the game, just mental errors, dropping pooch kicks and fumbling, or throwing a pick six, or calling a reverse on 4th and 1 to when the game's in the balance. Just doing dumb stuff that hurts yourself over and over. It's just, and we've been saying this for it's been a month now. If this team gets it together, they're still good, but they haven't put it together. They have to do it. There's no more. There's no more time. You have to now.
Right. Go ahead, Chad.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how crazy was that sequence of events? Like, when was the last time you heard of a punter getting what appeared to be an upper body injury on a punt that went
Right.
awry? Like,
Right.
it was so crazy. It's things I've never seen happen in football.
And it was it's kind of I don't know, microcosm of the season where, you know, from all the key injuries we've had, and then, you know, to I think it was like the second or third play of the game, we lose maybe our best linebacker. And like you said the other night, Chad, that it was the right call by the letter of the book. You can disagree with the book, but the book is what it is. And so, you know, when that happens, that just we already have lost so many key players. And then the second play of the game, you lose one of your key defensive players. And then, like the first punt of the game, you lose your punter. And so now
Who's an
you're
All-American?
probably
like-
All-American punter.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how many things are going to go wrong this season? And just these weird, you know, the fair catch thing, you know, dropping the ball on the kickoff, and just these weird things that keep happening. And we're not deep enough to still be good enough to overcome these things when they happen.
Right.
And that's the reality of it. Is that, you know, in other years we're deep enough where if we lose some guys, we got guys that are ready to go. This year, because of what happened in the offseason, that's just not the case. And I think we're seeing that, and I think we're seeing that it's really, really hard to get transfers on the same page and get the culture ingrained in them. I think we're seeing some of that at this point of the season where you know, we've seen it with a lot of other teams. When you bring in a lot of transfers, it's really, really hard. And I think we're seeing some of that. And it just seems like at times the team's not on the same page.
Mhm.
And I think I don't know if you can attribute those things, that what I'm talking about, to the offensive line, but man, they've been, I'll say it, disappointing in the run game for sure. And obviously, you know, it's partially the running backs, but it's partially the tight ends. But in my opinion, and maybe it's scheme based, I don't know, but it's just the running game just has not been reliable enough. And that makes things really, really difficult. You have more 3-and-outs that way. You end up behind that way. Your playbook is limited that way. And it's just been a big factor in us not getting things going on offense this year.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing you didn't mention is the Hogs have not been up to the standard. They're not terrible. They're not bad, but they're not up to the bar that's been set for an SDSU offensive line. And that was the group that coming into this season, we were like, well, that's a strength. We're bringing we have all these guys back. We have all these guys who have experience. And then, you know, you got Willenbring at center. But replacing one, you're going to have to replace the center eventually. So they don't have indefinite, you know, eligibility. Although some players, it feels like they do. But you know, that was what you felt was going to be the strength of this team, and they've been fine, but they haven't been to the level they need to be. And I think overall, Raphael Gale, he's a Montana State fan. He said, "I'm just amazed SDSU doesn't make mistakes," and that's been a hallmark of SDSU forever. That SDSU doesn't beat themselves; they make you have to beat them. And this year, in these last 4 games, we've beat ourselves multiple times. You know, for sure, the Indiana State game and the Illinois State game. Just, yeah, it's just mistake prone. And I think that just shows what happens when, like you said, Ben, you got to bring in so many transfers. I pushed back on Zach McKinnell on the Late Show a little bit, who hopefully I'm hoping that maybe we can get him on this week on one of the shows. That'd be fun. But because he's a super sharp guy. Maybe not this show. It's kind of late in the game, but maybe scared money don't make money, or we do a playoff prognostication thing in the field for the late night show. But he said USD lost as many players, and I was like, no way. But Zach's super sharp, so I'm like, well, maybe I wasn't paying attention. 46% of the roster was gone from last year.
At the
almost
start
50% at the start of this year.
And then take away the guys that got hurt.
Right. Now you have the people the guys who got hurt and everything else, on top of it. When you're replacing, you have to replace. You went from 110 guys on the roster down to 62.
And the ones that left weren't depth pieces.
Yeah.
They were starters.
So, and beyond
future starters.
Yeah. And we've talked about depth a lot, and, transfers and getting everybody to gel and everything. And I think the top line guys did, but now the part with depth that I don't know, maybe we talk about enough, is you have guys getting on the field ahead of schedule of where they're supposed to be. You got guys probably a year ahead of when they should be on the field. So now that game's moving 1,000 miles an hour for those guys, and having them be consistent can be a difficult thing, just because they weren't meant to be playing yet, and they are. And next man up is a thing, absolutely, but you can say next man up, but eventually, like, it causes issues, and I think that's been a problem. Part of the issue with finding consistency overall. And when that happens, you need your big guns to step up, who are still there. You need Alex Bullock, you need Graham Goring, you need Juice, you need the O-line. You need turnovers by the defense, and those things haven't been happening right now. And if you're hearing any background noise on my mic, I apologize. I've got Xena on her baby monitors up, and she's asleep, but she's bashing her head into the side of the crib and then sucking her finger crazy loud. But I gotta have the volume on so I can see if she wakes up. So anyways, we're giving mom a night off here, but so I think that's a big thing. You have so many guys ahead of schedule playing that you wouldn't regularly do that with. Plus these are young guys in a new system, offensively, compared to what they were used to from last year and everything else. And all this to say, all these things are fixable. Carter Nold says, and that is precisely why we've struggled on special teams. Yeah. That's where your depth shows the most. I remember talking about that 3-4 years ago now, where the depth shown through on special teams, and Dallas talked about it all the time, or think about 2022. We ended up having 22 different defensive starters throughout the season because of injuries, but that depth had been built up over the years, and now you're starting back over. And this is the result. And all that to say, look what you did. You realistically could have come back from 35 points down and won a game against the top 20 team in the country, who could potentially be, if they went out, they've got a really good resume to get like a top 14 seed in the tournament, that you could have come back on, and you were coming back on, and you shut out for 2/3 of the game. So I don't think it's an automatic loss this week, is what I'm getting at with the way they punch back and everything there.
We'll get to that later. I think we were just I wasn't intending to come across as
and I don't mean you were either. It's just the general vibe of the Jackrabbits world right now.
Yeah, and you kind of get that. When's the last time we won 4 games in a row?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'd have to go back and look, but I bet it's been a long, long time.
2011 was the last time we lost 4 games in a row.
4 games in a row. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was before the big playoff run that we've had. And I think just to provide a little more perspective is just that, the crazy thing is the guys, you mentioned how many guys came back. It wasn't a whole lot, but we did have some pieces that came back.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every one of those pieces that were like going to be key contributors are injured now. And it's like,
Right.
how is that even possible that of the pieces we've lost, it's been the key contributors that we had coming back. So now, you're almost down to basically nobody from last year. And it's just, it's really, really hard, especially in a year like this, when you've got all these new guys, all these transfers, all these young guys. It's really, really hard. Having said that, I completely disagree with booing the players.
Did that happen? I
Oh, yeah.
vaguely read that, but I did not hear it.
We didn't hear it on the east side.
It was happening. And
you sure they weren't booing the coaches though? Because
I don't know.
Hard to tell when you're a player
I would
on the field, but
I don't care if it's coaches or players.
Right.
I don't like it either way. I mean, because I don't know. The thing is, clearly, I said earlier that
7-4.
It is, and I said earlier I don't like our third down calls, but remember all these things we just said about how many injuries we've had, how many transfers we had, and all these things. The coaches are trying to coach through that, and they're doing a pretty damn good job. Like Brendan just said, that we got down 35-0, we almost came back and had a chance to win the game. And we've had all these injuries, and we could have went down to USD and won. And it's just, it's, in my opinion, I think it's a very entitled and ridiculous thing to do is to boo the team that you root for. And it's like, I don't know. I don't like it, especially at the college level, maybe at the pro level, but at the college level, I hate it.
Yeah. I mean, at the pro level, at least those guys are getting paid to do it. Like, I mean,
come on.
Yeah.
But I will say this, and I hope this comment stings if you were one of the people who booed. There's one place I would expect the fans to boo there. If you were to wager that a fan base in the FCS was booing a program that was 7-4, I would have picked Fargo and NDSU fans. So that's absolutely an NDSU fan activity.
Oh, 100%.
And I don't think they've done it either.
Oh, I actually
I don't think they have.
I have to sit there with like my hood on, like really quietly, when I hear some fans sound exactly like NDSU fans. They're just like, "Oh, this is terrible. We're awful now. We're gonna lose 5 games in a row, lose the season," and it's just like, I hate it. They just the expectation that every year is going to be like 2022 and 2023 now is just wild.
And here's for those fans, if you are listening, because I can hear you already. Well, NDSU's had three coaching transitions and they've won national titles. This is not NDSU has not done this. They've not had to deal with what we just dealt with, what Dan Jackson, the coaching staff, or this program dealt with. They did not have 28 players alone transfer, plus 14 recruits leave, plus every single member of the coaching staff, support staff, all of it gone, ripped to the studs. That has not happened in Fargo. That is not the same. And if you believe it is, do the research. Go look it up. Go look up how many players left those years. You know, when they're bemoaning the transfer portal, it was like Jasir Cox and stuff, or Cox leaving for LSU and stuff, but it wasn't some mass exodus. It wasn't, they weren't down to 60 players. That did not happen in any of those transitions. It was not a thing. It's not the same. It is not the same. So you need to relax, and people need a little bit of a dose of reality of what the coaching staff's dealing with. And just because, and somebody, God, I don't remember who made the comment now, but they said, and this will be a postseason conversation, but just really quick. Do you think with Coach Jackson's recruiting, how fast can he turn it around and get that depth? I don't know about the building depth part and everything. However, I will say Coach Jackson didn't get a proper offseason, a proper time of recruiting, any of that. While he was trying to recruit transfers and keep recruits and keep players and everything else, on top of that, he had to hire an entire coaching staff. He wasn't just finding a DC and an OC. Every single coach on the staff had to be found, interviewed, talked to, hired. Strength and conditioning coach, talked to and hired. All of that while you're trying to fill out a roster that has 50 open slots. So let's just see what happens. And Seth, I know he says they have a coach leave. They have yet to have a coach leave with the transfer portal and NIL. When Pulisic gets poached, they'll go through it. It and programs of the size of the only comparable situation I can think of that was in a large FCS blue blood program, and that was after they left for FBS, was Signetti leaving James Madison. That was a similar situation, but they were already at FBS, and he gutted that program, taking players with them, and they bounced back just fine, and I expect SDSU to. But I mean, there was a couple like Austin P and stuff like that. They've lost a ton of players, but that's a different grading scale, right? You're grading SDSU on a different scale than Austin P gets graded. So, but anyways, all that to say, I have full confidence in Coach Jackson and the staff for next year when they have a full list of full proper seasons worth of recruiting and everything else to build this stuff quickly.
And that's not to say that this season's over. Obviously,
no.
We'll get into the UND game in a bit here, but I think that due to the injuries, we've had to push a lot of people into positions that they didn't necessarily plan to be in this year, but we've had them for long enough now that there's a chance that this team has enough experience later in the season that they could make a run.
Absolutely.
And you get a guy healthy here and there, and you get some guys' confidence in their positions. The second half team against Illinois State, that team could go on a run in the playoffs for sure. You play like that, you play focused and confident. Our team has enough talent to do that, and so. I hope that, and I have faith that Dan will have him in the right place. That we'll see a confident team that's ready to go in up in Grand Forks.
And just one quick thing before we get into the rest of that, we should probably mention Cubbies, but I've had and as much as we tease NDSU fans for being who they are, there's plenty of them who are great rational fans, and I've had plenty of them that are my friends. So when we're talking about our fans acting like NDSU fans, we're talking about the ones that is generally thought of when we talk about NDSU fans. But I have had a couple of them reach out to me and say like, hey, that are really impressed with the job that Dan Jackson's done this season, to even have us in this position. Quickly, this is brought to you, or this segment's presented by Cubby Sports Bar and Grill Brookings. They've got roughly 30,000 TVs in there, so you can watch the game. If you're not on the bus trip that our number one man, Jim Poppin, put together, if you didn't get tickets for that, and you're going to be in the Brookings area, the place to watch it's going to be Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. They are the place to catch Jackrabbit athletics of any type. Head down to Cubby Sports Bar and Grill, get yourself a good beer, some Chislik nachos, kick your feet up, get a jacked up game day burger, and cheer the Jacks on with a ton of Jacks fans at a sports bar that is used to that sort of influx on a away game in day. It will give you great service, great food, great beer the whole time that you're there. And have a great time as we all cheer on the Jacks, and hopefully they pull out a win. And then the whole mantra changes. So go down to Cubby Sports Bar and Grill.
Matt, I don't know. I mean, unless I'm not aware of a bunch of extra stuff NDSU is doing, but they do have the Jacked NIL, and I've seen quite a bit of stuff on it. So go ahead.
It's not. We opted in. So everybody worried about NIL. Stop it. Put that down. Don't come on. Every time I talk,
we should probably read Matt's question.
Matt says, "Yeah, go ahead."
What do you mean? Can we quit? We have a sponsor that paid for that. You can't quit. Maybe after the season.
Doesn't have to be every time I open my fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're just
now
very ranty.
To be clear, you've had plenty of things, and I just thought maybe this would get into rant territory.
I mean, every time we talk at tailgate, one starts in my head.
Oh, Jesus, I do not do it at tailgate.
I'm just kidding.
God.
I'm just kidding.
Oh
While we were standing around setting up, talking about how the season might go.
Mm-hmm.
Ben.
So Matt says, "Are we not concerned with a lack of effort on the NIL front? Love it or hate it, it's here, and just don't see anything on it. Meanwhile, NDSU is all over it."
I will say this: NDSU's NIL was run much, much better. We opted in now, and if you're unaware, opting in means the schools can pay the players directly. It does not have to be through an NIL collective. That's why it's the same thing as what the Big Ten schools have done. Now, NIL still exists, absolutely. But I think what you'll see through SDSU is you're not going to see it as much on the NIL front as you will hear from, as it will be from, and absolutely donate to it, to the NIL. I'm not saying that, but I think what you'll see when it comes to keeping big players and everything like that, it'll be something through the school where they get those big donors and things like that.
I do agree with Seth. I wish our NIL had a monthly subscription option and a members club deal.
Right.
It's a no-brainer. Every major school does it.
Whatever.
And it's really easy to run and it's cool to do. And, and fans just eat it up. It's easy money. So I don't know. Yeah. But we should probably talk to somebody about that.
Yeah. We've said for years send out yard signs or something for people that are part of the Jackrabbit Club. And that's the one thing that we've banged on in the past that hasn't. Everything else feels like everything else we complain about gets taken care of, but apparently oddly has not cleared the bar of ideas. So
we probably need to bring it back up though.
Yeah, but yeah. So, anyways, this season, because there's a lot of conversation right now about next season. It's not over.
No,
holy crap, folks! Like this ain't done.
Right. I agree. All right. So now that we've beat that game to death and talked about why we are where we're at, let's look at the top 25, which is SDSU in this week.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, well, spoiler alert.
Jeez, Chad.
Not if you read Brendan's poll.
True.
My poll didn't have us in there.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't blame you. All right. So NDSU number 1, Montana State 2, Montana 3, Lehigh 4, Tennessee Tech 5. And then for Valley teams, we've got UND all the way up at 11, Illinois State at 14, Youngstown State at 16, USD at 18, SDSU at 22. Hanging on to the top 25. But the team we do play this coming week is number 11 on this poll.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a huge opportunity. I think that anything on the overall landscape before we dive into the UND game.
I recommend giving obviously the FFN show a listen and the Blue Bloods a listen to hear the bubble's tight this year, and there's a lot of teams that could get at large bids, and adding the Ivy has added a whole new layer to that. So anyways, yeah, Rev says just skip Stephen A. Austin, you jerk. Stephen F. Get out of here. What are you doing?
No, he's making a joke because
the FCS account put Stephen A. Austin on the
my God.
because of course they did.
Stephen A.
They're
Smith,
the most professional and the ones that we rely on for voting
Stanley.
and all sorts of things.
Right.
No, that wasn't it the
I didn't
Opta
see
one?
that.
No,
just Stanley's.
I think it was the NCAA FCS one. Rev's gonna have to.
I still think we should have a crazy Craig segment. That'd be hilarious. have him rant about the red shirt, about us using the red shirt.
Somebody's gonna have to try to nail the it was the
Craig Haley
NCAA
voice.
FCS coaches poll post is the Stephen A. Austin
ACA.
Yeah. But,
we don't show our votes because the berating that happens to me. I wouldn't want to expose my voters to that. That's it's just too much.
I mean,
easy, Craig.
I've seen you guys have to defend yours, but it's never been like that intense.
Yeah, because if you don't say dumb shit like, "Well, it's North Dakota State," obviously, then.
Can I be McFeely then?
Oh, geez, this is gonna go swell.
Bad Mike and Crazy Craig.
Oh my God, we'll have to come up with a bit. God, that'd be good.
That would be good.
Well, this game, it's us. I mean, we've been here for too long now. It's this game doesn't even matter anymore. It's time to go to the FBS. I don't even care what we're doing. I don't even like covering this football anymore. I hate it with a passion of 10,000 suns, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, pretty much. You'd rather be 5-5 and go to a bowl game.
I'll have to clip that and send it to him. He's actually, I'll give it to him. He's actually a pretty good sport with a lot of the shit people give him, which he's got to have thick skin with the way he is. But anyway, anything else on the national scene before we go on?
There's gobs of games that matter this weekend. It's you can throw a rock and hit a game that matters for the playoffs. You're going to really want to pay attention to Tennessee Martin versus Tennessee Tech. That's huge for stealing a bid. Southeastern Louisiana versus Nichols will be big. Then the Causeway Classic with UC Davis and Sac State, that'll be a big game because if Sac State somehow pulls the upset over Davis, now Davis is at 7-4 and Sac State's probably in. And Davis is really puckered. Harvard-Yale is huge because if Yale wins that game, they win the Ivy, so that steals them. Then Harvard will absolutely get an at-large bid, so that steals an at-large bid as well. If you're in I hope SDSU will make it if they're the 7-5 crowd. You don't want that. Lehigh Lafayette will be big. That's another bid stealing game. That's a rivalry. It's the most played rivalry in the history of football, of college football. That's a big one to pay attention to because if Lafayette wins that, they win the conference, the Patriot League, and then Lehigh for sure is going to get an at-large as well. So that'll be huge. Yeah, there's a whole, you can, like I said, you can throw a rock and hit a game that matters. Plus, you got Southern Illinois State's a big game. Our game's probably one of the linchpin games of how the playoff goes. Seth Meyer says Austin P playing Tarleton for their playoff lives. That'll be huge for everything from seeds to who makes the tournament. Southern Utah in theory could get the UAC. Tons and tons and tons of games. I'm sure, listen to Herder, listen to McKinnell, listen to Kevin Marshall. They'll have a more complete list of what to pay attention to this weekend, but you should probably be wearing out your remote this weekend, chasing games because there's a lot that are going to matter. And it's a perfect weekend for it to be an away game because you get an opportunity to watch some great FCS football. It's all going to matter.
Yeah.
This, for the crowd that says the regular season doesn't count as much when you have so many playoffs, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
If this was a 4-team bracket, there would be like 3 games that mattered.
Or for the crowd that's like, oh, it's so watered down. Like, we know NDSU is going to win.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
it's entertaining along the way, man.
You know what? My thing for those people is, and you could start the timer on this one, chat. If you're one of those, well, there's no good teams and NDSU's going to win, and it's just the Montanas and the Dakota States. You're not a college football fan. You are a power conference fan, and all you want to watch are the biggest names, and that's all you are. And that's fine. You can be that person, but don't come at me. It's like saying I love music and then you like 3 bands. Like, no, you don't love music. You love those 3 bands, and that's it.
One of them's Coldplay and the other one's Nickelback. You don't know music.
Right. So don't give me this, the subdivision sucks. Like, this is the most exciting bubble we've had in years. The most exciting. And sure, could there be a bunch of teams that lose and it becomes really elementary? Sure, but boy, I don't think you can look at anybody below 10 and say that they're a lock to beat anybody that makes this field. Even Duquesne will be able to upset somebody if they win the NEC, which I think that's another game to pay attention to, is Duquesne's game. This is a great year. It's really exciting to have so many different teams, different teams that you're not used to making the playoffs with great records, 9-10 win seasons that are on the bubble. That's great. You don't have 8-7 win teams, jockeying for the last 3 spots. You're going to maybe get a 7-5 team, but there's going to be and it'll probably be leave at the expense of an 8 or 9 win team in a smaller conference. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Zach McKinnon says McFeely would rather NDSU be preparing for the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I don't get it. But yeah, that it drives me nuts. Like, either you like football, fun football, good football that matters for every single team, or you just want to watch a bowl game that you get to pretend matters and self-flatulate to it, and
what's hilarious,
say you cover the FBS. I don't know what to tell you.
Is he never talks about like the bowl games and how boring they're going to be.
No.
What he talks about, he's like, well, I mean, look at, JMU. They might be in the playoff this year. That could be us.
Right.
Or you could never reach that success in the FBS. You just might not. Like,
right.
you don't have the resources that JMU has. Like,
well, yeah.
You think you're just going to be a JMU and FBS right away?
Right. Well, and they
that and location,
recruiting,
Fargo's
location,
definitely.
Yeah, it's just the arrogance is wild, and I actually I don't know. It would be awesome to see him go FBS and go like 4-6 to 6-4 in that range and never do anything else.
That would be
just watch him wallow in misery, like barely making bowl games.
It would suck to lose the marker game.
And I would never want to lose the marker game.
This is much more just to see McFeely like
squirm.
But
I did. Raphael Gale said we didn't bring up the brawl game. We all know the brawl's a big thing for where
that kind of
might
doesn't
get
need
seeded,
to be
but that's he was not talking about that at that time. So
right. Yeah, I was talking about bubble teams. That's not for bubble teams. That's for who gets a 2 or 3 seed.
Zach says it. Zach says it right here.
We didn't miss it.
Fargo Dome's going to be empty as hell on a Tuesday night when NDSU plays Ball State. G5 is not that much of an upgrade over FCS.
I really do want to see us get the ball sack contest. That would be that'd be fantastic.
Well, we lost poop in Major League Baseball, so we got to get ball sack.
There you go.
So and that's all to say, like, none of us are like massively anti FBS, but I like
the
FBS no matter what is insane. Like, really, you're more excited for Kennesaw State on a Tuesday?
Yeah, that on top of like poo-pooing the FCS the whole time you're still in
that whole bid. Like, I wonder why people don't go to games up there anymore after their media tells them that it's not worth going to for years.
Right?
Like,
this is boring.
Could have an effect.
Yeah. So
anyway,
it's shaping up to be a really, really fun weekend in the FCS. And if you love FCS ball, this is going to be almost as good as the first round of playoffs if you are paying attention and look it up. Sam Herder has a handy list already out there on his site, but listen to the Blue Bloods. Those guys will cover really well if you want to have it ahead of time, or Friday is when Kevin Marshall and FCS Nation comes out with their show, if you want to catch that pod and try to get some info from there as well. And we'll talk about it on Scared Money Don't Make Money more as well.
For sure.
Kevo seems to be enjoying South Carolina.
Yeah. Well, I think he misses it maybe just a little bit.
All right, well, let's get into the game that matters the most to us. yeah, we talked about the implications, the linchpin of the playoff picture, and it's odd that UND sitting at number 11. If they lose this game, they might not make the playoffs.
Right.
It's
I don't think they do. They have no.
They would
win
actually
hanger.
like
They'd have the
on,
Youngstown State win, and that's it.
On paper, they would have a worse resume than us if we lost, like quite a bit worse. And it's just weird to think that a team ranked 11th is in that position, but it's a wacky year in the FCS.
That's how razor thin the bubble is this
year. That's what I'm
like,
saying. Yeah.
If we win, we could go from not being in the playoffs to 14, 15 seed. If you look at the on paper thing comes into play there now, and now it's, I mean, boy, that resume lines up really nicely against any 8 and 14, any single one of them. That the margin for error is right there right now.
Right. And really, I mean, say
oh my God, we got the UND fan in here. Worse resume than SDSU. You all lost to Indiana State. Yeah, but we beat teams with numbers in front of their names. What did you guys do?
True. Both things are true.
One of them was a single digit number on the road. What did you do on the road? And did you choke that game away?
I mean, they had the opportunity to win.
That would have probably gave you a better resume if you wouldn't have let that one slip through your fingers. Did that happen a lot this year? Have you done that a lot? Is that a problem that is recurring for you guys? Or I'm just asking for a friend.
I feel like if they win that one and we play them this week, it doesn't matter whether they win or lose. So there you go.
Right.
More you know.
That's a fact.
Yeah. And not to be, you never want to celebrate a loss, obviously, but if you play out the scenario, we win this game, and then you start looking at our resumes, and the losses that we have would be to number 1 NDSU and Illinois State, probably going to be a playoff team. USD, probably going to be a playoff team. And then Indiana State, which is obviously a bad one. But if those are your 4 losses, and then you have the wins that we have, your resume is not that bad.
I mean, Mercer's probably going to be a top 8 seed, potentially like up to top 5, 6-ish. And they lost to effing Presbyterian.
Yeah, I mean, weird stuff happens in a season.
And to be very, very clear, we are not arguing about if we should make it at 7 wins.
No,
at all. We're saying
we did that in the resume
chat. We've had that. We've hashed that one out, and I don't think it's done being hashed.
I'll sum it up. The Kinkle model says that our resume should, based on our resume, we should be in. The humans that run the playoff committee will not think that way.
They shouldn't. I wouldn't reject the bid, but I also wouldn't be like fighting tooth and nail defending it against people who were mad if we got in with 7 losses.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, so Gavin, I'm feeling spicy tonight. Gavin Bowman says 14 total points of losses. I'm not saying we've had a great season by any means, but we do, and we have to win this game too. We've said it all year that UND this year has become what they hated the most, and that is the UNI of old. That, I mean, realistically, and them being at 11 is strictly an eye test thing. Because they've got the one good win, and then you look at the number of losses, they've looked really good. And I'm not saying that they're not really good. I have them ranked I don't have SDSU ranked, and I have UND ranked around that 11-12 range. But they're absolutely the UNI of what they used to be, of what UNI used to be, where they played a bunch of really good teams close, but they lost them in the fourth quarter. And UND has taken, as Dustin says, UND is now the king of almost. They've taken the crown from UNI, and they're the king of almost. And absolutely, they should be favored in this game. I'm not saying that either. It's just the same way we're annoyed that a segment of our fan base is becoming like NDSU fans. Yeah, I find it equally as funny to see that UNI or UND has become what they hated about UNI. It's a little bit funny to me.
Yeah, it is. But obviously, and Gavin now admits, yes, this is winner in, loser out, and it's. I really think it is, and it's fun that it's came to this. Obviously, when we were sitting at 7-0, we would have never, in our wildest
Never dreamed.
imagination, thought
No.
that we'd be sitting at 7-4 and staring down the barrel of potentially 7-5. But here we are, and wild things have happened this season, just with injuries and everything, and balls bouncing the way they shouldn't, and it is what it is. But we got the team we got, and I like what we saw in the second half against Illinois State. I honestly, I thought the defense played a pretty good game overall, considering the positions they kept getting put in. When they were given a chance to defend a full field, it was they gave up outside of the first drive. I don't think they gave up another one after that, did they? I think the rest were short fields.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And by the way, I did want to mention Illinois State. Number one, I'd like to credit Brock Spack. He was aggressive. Like when things were going wrong for us, he stepped on the throat. He's like, I see an opportunity. I'm taking it.
Trick plays,
he could have like kicked a field goal and be like, haha, we're up 10 now, And but he did, man, he was like, yeah, I was impressed with the way he coached. And then Daniel Sopkowitz, that dude is really, really good at football. Wanted to credit him. And then obviously I think Rittenhouse played a decent game too. So
and
forgot to do that.
Yeah, and I want to point out off of that, number one, that goes to your point of how the defense played. If they gave up 35 points against a team of that caliber, being put in the positions they were put in, that was running a bunch of trick plays and having to go for it on fourth down to score
just
in those
wacky
situations.
stuff.
They threw
triple reverse passes.
Yes,
right.
They threw the kitchen sink at us.
But number two, as a Jacks fan, I mean, honestly, that should, in a weird way, that should give you some confidence, because Brock Spack is not a dumb coach. He's a very smart coach, and he coached that game like you're in the Dragon's Lair and you have to win, and you don't win by not scoring touchdowns, and that's how he coached that game with those trick play calls and everything else. And that is, he didn't do that because he saw a bad team on film coming in. That is a show of respect of what he was concerned about happening, which, by the way, almost happened anyways. And worried about SDSU coming back still, even with how the last 4 games have gone and everything. He was not willing to risk just kicking field goals and being happy, because he did not have the confidence that they were just that much better of a team and able to do that. And I think that does show you that despite results, that this is still a good team. Like they're not Indiana State, even though we lost to them.
Yeah, I mean the only issue with the defense was a lack of focus, I think, on some plays, and a lack of judgment, with the targeting thing. But other than that, the defense played really well. And then the offense, I really like what Jack Henry's doing. I mean, he's a baller. Like he's a gamer. You can tell he's got that in him. He's a dog, however you want to say it. And some of the throws he's making, just high level, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first to say it. I'm surprised to see how much arm talent he has. He was never able to show that ever, which is the weirdest thing, that like a quarterback doing it at this level has never shown that before. Usually they would have shown it off in high school, but Del Rapids does not run that offense.
Right.
And so he didn't throw the ball barely at all. Like he had 5 touchdowns in the state championship game, but that was not normal even for that season. And so it's been really, really cool to see his very, very quick development. I think he's playing really, really good football right now.
He is. He's really coming into his own. He's really, you can see, comfortable now in his own skin. You know, with how he's playing, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm not fully agreeing with you, Garrett. Before you jump on and go, haha, I told you, up tempo air raid. We're not. No. But
this goes back to tailgate discussions. I feel like
this was before that happened, before the tailgate. After the USD game, he had commented. That goes all the way back to after that. But I will say this: I think I know Coach Jackson in his interview with John Gaskin said we are always going to be a run first and good defense team, but I think you gotta let Henry sling it around.
Man, with how he's looked in, whether it's a 2-minute situation before half or the end of game situations, or the whole game against Illinois State being down 35-0, right. You just can't deny it that offense is good. Yeah. Like, it's hard to stop. Yep. And I think you can build off of that and make that your primary thing. And now you're doing things to complement that. That can be a successful offense. It's not the offense we ran at the start of the year, but maybe it's what this set of talent does well. And maybe that's what we should do.
Average like 1.9 yards a carry against Illinois State. Throw the ball.
Yeah. And hear me out. The run game doing what it's doing. How about let's go run some power? Let's forget the zone stuff that we've just been pushing down our throats all year, and it hasn't worked very well. Maybe we need to realize that with the set of talent we got, the power run game is the option. I mean, look at what they did against Youngstown State when they used it. Mm-hmm. And we haven't seen it since then, which to me is it's honestly, I don't know. It's a bit negligent, in my opinion, that we haven't made a bigger change in the run game than we have based on how bad it's looked. I'll say that.
Yeah, you've got to definition insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? At some point, that's what we wanted was run the ball. Jim says run the damn ball with Josiah Johnson.
But run it on a power run, not a zone read.
Right. Right. And I think part of the issue is, though, with a young quarterback in, I mean, Dan came out and said that teams are going to game plan us different with Henry as the quarterback than Chase Mason. Duh. I mean, all these coaches keep saying, well, we're scheming for Chase Mason and it won't be any different for the backup. Okay.
Yeah. I bet North Dakota.
Yeah. I bet. But
sorry.
I think you need to throw to open up the run game a little bit because they're just playing the run game and daring you to beat them with your third string redshirt freshman quarterback. That's what they want you to do. Try to beat us with them, and you're going to have to prove to them that you can do it. UND's defense is too damn good to try to be stubborn and slam the ball down their throat over and over again. NDSU's offense couldn't do that with Cole freaking Payton. This run game ain't doing it.
I'll be upset if that's the game plan we go in there with.
Right. You got to.
Really
I think Chris Howard's got a good point here. He just points out we need more bubble screens.
Need more bubble screens.
Yeah, maybe a swing pass here and there.
Right.
Just hang me by my toenails already.
But I think you're going to need to do something. Something to back those backers up and make those safeties think before they just run downhill every play. They may not be blitzing every play, but they're coming downhill every play, and that is hard to run against. I mean, eventually, when we had Mason McCormick in the gang, eventually we'd crack those games open, but it wasn't immediately. Like, it took some effort, and we had NFL running backs behind him. So sorry, Raphael, I'm just here to help, buddy.
I do. Sorry, Chad. I was just.
That's all right.
Zach Larson says, hope Blair can help with the running game if he plays. I mean, I've been excited to see Corey Blair come back ever since we see him. We saw him do what he can do. He could definitely He could
I'm
definitely.
sorry, I can't keep it.
Sorry. Chad was laughing at Seth Meyers' comment. This is going to call a tunnel screen on the first play just to troll us.
Tunnel screen happens.
Yeah.
And then we get a message request on Twitter.
Especially
Take
when
that,
it goes
you
for a
freaking
touchdown.
dicks.
Then we're gonna have to eat all sorts of shit.
Yeah, that'll be the thing. It'll go for a touchdown.
Look, hey, you know what? One
I'm
thing
fine
we're
with
very
it.
happy to be. We're happy to be wrong. We'd be happy to be proven wrong. I think
Yeah.
every one of us would come on here and be like, yeah, glad to be an idiot.
For
I
sure.
don't think it'd be the first time for me. I don't know about you guys, but
Somebody mentioned, Randy Jacobs mentioned if they complete a few of those dump passes to the tight end, other things should open up. 100%. Loved the way they were utilizing Gannon.
Yep.
Just go stand him in the middle of the defense and throw it to him until they stop it.
Right.
Like, how have we not had that man all year? Like,
right.
I think we've been trying to block with him for the run. I think that's honestly the answer there.
But over and over again, over games that, man, when we were winning, you have to. So remember when we were winning and we had some criticisms.
Right.
We haven't seen those criticisms change, and it's hurt us. So I'd like to say that we were right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tried to push back on you, not very well, but I tried.
Yeah.
But you were right. I will say, if you compare our running back room and where they are today, I think future wise may be different, but and you said, what guys do you want the ball? You want the ball in their hand more? Alex Bullock, Jack Smith, Graham Goring, or the running back stable? You probably want. I would want Jack Smith and Alex Bullock and Graham Goring with the ball in their hands as much as you can, and that's where I get the short bubble screen thing, but maybe we try to get in their hands a different way. How about slant routes? Those might work.
Those exist still.
Out routes.
The team still run slants.
You know, I think the talent's there.
Oh my god!
And
when is the last time you saw a good slant route from SDSU?
From us? No, I've thought that earlier this year. I just said something to someone in the last game. I was like, "Hey, cool! They ran a slant route. Those are really hard to stop. It's sure too bad that we don't run any."
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Somehow we turn this into the bitching about the play.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, you have to. This is part of the fun that we used to have when we weren't like really good every year, because we were a podcast before 2022. And
right, we were. People forget we were that. Well, nobody else was watching us besides Jim Papa and the Myers,
true.
but thank God bless you guys for putting up with that era of Jackrabbit Illustrated.
True. I don't know how people stuck through that, but no, it's definitely.
There he is, Garrett. That sounds like air raid, Brendan.
I told you.
I knew it was coming. I tried to get ahead of it before I said it.
And I would like to point out again that I was right, that I said that we should do hurry up. We were doing hurry up the first drive of the game. So you're
gonna hurt your arm patting yourself on the back today. You know that?
That's true.
I just like to point it out.
If he pats his back with his good arm, you're gonna have to I don't know. You're gonna have to carry things for him and stuff because he's gonna be sore from patting himself on the back all night.
Ben thought he was wrong once, but he was mistaken.
Anyway, we should probably get going soon.
Yeah, that time of night.
Oh God, it's 1:03. Should we talk about the game more perchance than just our play calling?
Against UND.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's quick. It doesn't have to be long.
Yeah. No, I think, like we have said,
we have not mentioned any of our other sponsors.
Well,
it's Wooden Leg Brewing time.
Yes. And then I have one.
And I don't have a beer, but hop down to Wooden Legs Brewing. Get your beer before you get on the bus. There's going to be plenty of drinking on the bus. Get yourself some man cans and take those with you on the trek up to North Dakota.
There you go.
And also, thank you to Hadrick Ranch, the producer of Hadrick Ranch. Troy was nice enough to bring the prototype bottle of Hadrick Ranch to the tailgate, and we are very excited to develop this. This one tastes a bit like Hy-Vee Ranch. We may have to work on it a bit.
Eerily similar, some might say.
Eerily similar. It looked even more like it when it had still the label on the very top.
If you look too close, you might say the bottles are identical even.
Yeah, love seeing Troy at the tailgate, and I was talking to him about the process that he had to go through to get the ranch to table certification, and I was just so impressed with what they've done, their dedication to it, and that is why their beef tastes so darn good. And if you see Troy, talk to him about it because he explains it really well, and it's actually really cool to hear. So thank you to Hadrick Ranch.
And we would be remiss if we did not mention that they are now certified Angus beef that you're buying from them.
Yeah, certified ranch to table. That's what. Yeah,
yep.
They were certified Angus already. Now they're certified.
Right, but now
they got the ranch to table.
Now the ranch to table. So the stuff that you get from them is certified Angus beef.
Yep.
Yeah. So that is
very cool.
That is super cool.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyway, back to the game. Like we said, I think on offense we're just going to have to do what we've done well against in the last couple games. Call it air raid, whatever you want to call it. It's looked good, and I think that's what we're going to have to do against UND and see if they can stop it. I have confidence in our defense that it's been. UND has put up some points this year, but in games against good defenses, they've struggled a bit. And I think that we have a good defense, both eye test and statistically. And so I think we'll do enough to slow them down. And I think we come away with the victory. I'm not going to spoil my pick for Scare Money Don't Make Money, but
I will say this right now. I like the matchup for our defense, but on the same token, they are a better rushing offense than South Dakota was, and we struggled containing Phillips. That will be a big challenge. They're averaging 5.4 yards per carry. USD's 4.93, but they're averaging 210 yards rushing per game. Now, I don't think their quarterback is quite Aiden Bowman. He still can hurt you, especially if you let the run game get cooking. It's going to be hugely important in that building not to fall behind. I agree with you on the we're going to have to throw to open some things up offensively, but I will say Borg brought up on the late night show that it might be good to be that it's a road game because this team's had its best performances on the road. And honestly, I mean, if you look at the resume, if they were to win this game, all their ranked games that they won would be on the road. It would be at Bozeman, at Youngstown, at Grand Forks, which, by the way, 3 tough places to win against ranked teams would be very impressive. And, I kind of wonder if that helps this team really lock in being on the road. But, boy, you can't go down 21 points in the first quarter against this defense.
No.
That'll be a bad day. But yeah, I really think this team has all the talent in the world to make it happen. I think I don't see any way that if SDSU were to win that we run away with it. It's going to be a tight, hard-fought game. Nobody's ran away with a game against UND, not even Kansas State. So if you're going to beat them, you got to be in a dogfight with them all the way through the fourth, and then you got to try to pull it out at the end.
And what's interesting is that we haven't even really talked about, do we think Chase Mason's going to play or not, and how's that going to affect the game? It's interesting that narrative has changed because of the way Jack Henry has played.
Right.
That, obviously we would love it to see Chase Mason back out there, but it's not as much of a concern now that Jack Henry has played the way he has. And what do you got there?
That's
Stephen
the new
A. Austin.
Stephen A. Austin logo
Austin.
that Rev
Nice.
sent me. Saw.
That's
Saw,
right.
dude. The Saw Jacks.
What's up?
But no, I think it's way more if we can execute and be consistent and not and maintain that focus the whole game and not have the mental slip ups. I think if we can, I think that's way more important than whether Chase plays or not. Honestly, I think if we take care of those things, I think we do come away with a win.
Yeah. And at this point, I am, until proven otherwise, assuming Chase isn't playing.
Yep, I agree.
You know, I think that's just the way to go about it. However, sounds like a taser is in somebody's background. I don't know why.
It's somebody's mic. I don't know which one of us, but
but
I was breathing. It sounded like a taser.
yeah, it
it was crackling, like
Sorry, I took a deep
mic
breath.
static.
Yeah,
electrical.
That's the power of the Ben. That's why he's right so often. He's just electric with his takes. It's just
That's probably why he hasn't lost any of his picks, right?
Yeah, I mean, he does work for an electric co-op, so I mean,
True.
he's electric.
Oh, here it is.
Yep, I agree.
Raphael, he's been just dying for us to tell him more Jacks fans will root for the Bobcats than they would ever root for the Grizz. I'm telling you right now.
Pretty much.
We identify with and feel more similar to the Montana State fans than we do with Grizz fans. That's without a doubt. So
our hatred for them goes a long ways back.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We have reasons.
For sure.
By the way, the Monet song was coming through clear as a bell on the Eat Shit Grizz Go Cats Go on Monet was coming through clear as a bell on ESPN, and they did not turn it down. You could hear it so clear.
That's great. Oh yeah, thank you to Northwestern Mutual.
Yes.
Chase is falling behind a bit in the ounces on an 8th stand fundraiser, but it sounds like we may have some bonus money coming or something. So
maybe some matching.
Some matching. That's what you're talking about. So
matching. Well, and realistically, it's $1,000. It's not $2,000. If anybody sees that, you got to remember once every five you get an extra grand from bonus thrown in from Alex's or from Northwestern Mutual. So hit that 20,000 mark, and we will be right up to 21,000. So I am fully confident we can make it happen.
And I have yet to count the money from the pudding shots. I just was really busy today after work trying to get my grandparents Sirius to work on their car. It's a long story.
That sounds like a long story.
All right.
Yeah.
With that, like Jim says, like we always say, go big, go blue,
go
Jack.